My friends, for anyone who knows me, that I'm quite a fan of MMA, watching that world and seeing how things are depicted over there. One thing that has really risen in the last couple of years is trash talking. You hear it all the time, right? People talking about, I'm gonna beat you, I'm better than you shouldn't even be at the table, I'm number one, nobody's on my level, that sorts of trash talking. MMA is taking it to another level. Actually, let me go back. The first place that really I ever heard about trash talking, and why are you talking about trash talking? With respects to marketing, okay? The first place that ever really trash talked, in my opinion, I remember it was, you can find it online, clips of WWF, borderline WWE, right? It was the Hulk Hogan's, the Ultimate Warriors, Randy Savages, until now, the John Cena's and whatnot. And they were really the people of trash talking, right? They're called promos. You're trying to build hype. What are you trying to do? You're trying to promote a match, a contest, a predetermined contest, but nonetheless, a contest. You're trying to sell a pay-per-view. So what do? You trash talk. You say, I'm gonna beat you. No, I'm gonna beat you. So you build up anticipation. Other sports do this too. Anytime you have a commercial for saying this person is going to go up against this person in a tennis bout, boom, you're marketing. It's not trash talking anymore, but you're marketing. MMA does this a lot. The whole point of a weigh-in, public weigh-in, is that they get to stare down and you get to take pictures for the posters. The whole point of, creating heat, as they would call it in the world of MMA, is basically you hit a guy up on Twitter, you start saying bad things to him out loud, you create some traction. So people want to see you guys fight, so people want to see you compete. And over the last couple of years, trash talking in MMA has really risen to crazy amounts. Now, from a subjective point of view, now we're going to point out Conor McGregor because he is just the most relevant guy right now. If you want to point out, you say, Daniel, I'm not a fan, I would say, okay, that is 100% understandable. Not many people are. If I was to speak from a purely objective point of view, imagine everyone sitting around the table, right? And these are all fighters, they all want the championship. And everyone's behaving a certain way. One person starts raising his mouth. He starts just knobbing away, just going off. Now, as a fan, it's just naturally, you want to see that guy get his mouth shut. So what happens is, if you do not like the guy who's yapping away, you're hoping, man, you gotta whoop this man. Like you guys have to have a bout. And everyone who does like him for speaking out and likes his confidence and his bravado goes, hey, I love this guy. I love how he's talking out. He's such a cool guy. I want him to win. Whether you like him or you don't like him, you're gonna pay to see the fight. And I think that's one thing that's really fascinated me. The thing that really captures my attention, it's not, trash talking or putting someone else down or being really arrogant and cocky. No, my friends. It is your ability to market yourself. It is being able to market, being able to understand and go, I guarantee you get Conor McGregor, you get maybe not Tito Ortiz, he's kind of, but you get a Conor McGregor, you get a Chael Sonnen, you get a Michael Bisping. They will all sit down. I swear to you, watch an interview, but you won't be able to find too many of them, where they sit down and they go, hey man, do you really hate Anderson Silva? Or do you really have a grudge against Eddie Alvarez? And I guarantee you, they'll sit down and go, no, man, I really don't. They're amazing fighters. They're great. I wish them nothing but the best. But at the time, I was marketing. Chael Sonnen, he has his own podcast, the You're Welcome podcast, and it's clips of it on YouTube. He said multiple times, he was one of the biggest heels, if you will, one of the biggest guys that you would boo in the sport of MMA, in UFC. And he had come out a few years ago and said, hey, listen, all that stuff, all that trash that I talked about my opponent, all the stuff I said, I'm gonna whoop him, and you suck, and your country sucks. I think you're a great guy. I'm actually a fan of yours. That right there in the moment, we're building hype. We're building marketing. Unfortunately, we're in a position where sometimes just being all buddy-buddy good, that doesn't always promote as well. I think Chael Sonnen was absolutely brilliant because he was one of those UFC fighters who really at the point of time said, you know what, everybody wants to be a good guy. Everybody wants to be cheered. I'll be the bad guy. I will gladly let you be cheered if I can be the worst, if I can be the best bad guy in the business. Because that's how I'm gonna stand out. Everybody wants to be here, I'm gonna go somewhere else with it. And Chael's stock went through the freaking roof because nobody was talking how he was talking. If you wanna Google it on YouTube, Chael Sonnen highlight clips. And again, the super cool thing is that you hear him, and if you only base him on that, you're like, this guy's a jerk. This guy, I wouldn't wanna befriend this guy. I wouldn't even wanna be in the same room with this guy. But listen to his podcast, listen to who he is when he's not in front of the camera, and he's such a cool guy. And he's stated multiple times, he's like, I have respect for all my opponents. And really what I was just doing was, I understood, because Chael Sonnen understood the WWF aspect, that in any story, if you have a protagonist, you have to have an antagonist in order for the climax to really brew, right? And Chael Sonnen said, okay, I will happily be the antagonist. I will happily play the role. I will happily get booed. But if you're gonna boo me, you're gonna boo me at the frickin' building. I'm not gonna, excuse my language, I'm not gonna half-ass this thing. I'm gonna go full out. So he was really a perfect example of a guy who just let his opponents have it, and trash talking in press conferences and whatever, never let up. But now when you check him out on YouTube and he's talking about it, he's going, hey, I did not mean any of it. Or like looking back, like there's absolutely no bad blood from my end, and it was strictly business.